Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be reviewing the Ineos Grenadier Quartermaster. This is the truck version. Before we get into the video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Warner Ineos for giving me some time with this new Quartermaster. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. If you have any questions, need any help, just ask for Corey. Also include a link to my carbine guide. Let's get into it. Now, powering the Grenadier Quartermaster is a turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs with this are 282 horsepower and then 331 pound-feet of torque, just like the station wagon. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. When it comes to front end style, it looks identical to the station wagon. It has all the same elements. It's like Wrangler and Gladiator, right? So you've got the same super upright windshield, which looks super cool. And then down below, that section on the hood where you can put the checker plates if you want to add that as an accessory. Really nice lights. You've got the center lights here for off-road use. Steel bumper from the factory. And it looks like this one has the factory integrated winch as well. And then you can see here with the skid plate protection underneath. And there's the front. Now, I don't actually know if these tires are aftermarket, 295 by 70 by 17, because I remember when I got my station wagon, the tires were 265 by 70 by 17. But anyways, this is the biggest tire from my understanding that you can fit on the Grenadier Quartermaster or the regular, Grenadier station wagon without basically having to lift it or anything like that. It's a true 33. I'm pretty sure measurement wise. But anyways, we've got the big old fender flares here. See the flag there on the side. Still have these so you can mount stuff to the door panel if you want. And this one actually has the crossbar set up there up top. But yeah, you can see the size of this thing. It is pretty big. It is quite a bit longer compared to the station wagon. This leads us to the key fob where, yeah, it's a normal Grenadier key fob. It has a flip out function, lock and unlock, super basic, but that's kind of what you want with this vehicle. Now, being a truck means that, yes, we have a tailgate. We've got a truck bed. Now, understand that this is like a demo truck, so this has been used a bit, so that's why we're going to see a little bit of wear and everything. But anyways, the spare tire is mounted in the bed, so that does take up a little bit of the space. And you can see you can actually mount another one there on the other side, so it's cool to have that little divot there for the spare tire. But yeah, I mean, this one has a top added to it. It's just a soft top, but still, if you need truck practicality, that's the big benefit of the Quartermaster. This has the same taillights as the station wagon here in the back. And I mean, really, if you just look at the bottom section here, it looks like they basically just cut off the top of the station wagon and extended it out, which, I mean, the design's cool, so it works. Anyways, you got parking sensors here on the rear bumper, and you'll notice, just like a station wagon, they've kind of optimized for departure angle. Now, this isn't going to have nearly as good of a departure angle because you've got that long overhang, but there's the rest of the rear. Oh, and you guys probably also noticed Quartermaster there on the side of the bed. Now, this leads us inside, and this has the same interior that you're going to get in the station wagon. See the seats as well. This one has the upgraded leather seats. See with the vents there in the center USB ports on top of that. And quickly pop in, definitely got to step up pretty high. It's a tall vehicle. It feels like the space is, there's no adjustment that I'm seeing on the seat. It does feel like the space here is a little bit more cramped in the truck compared to the station wagon for the back passengers. But with the boxy design, headroom's still great. Taking a look at the front door panel, it's got the same kind of rugged materials throughout, and I love the squared off mirrors, they're so cool. Anyways, if you guys are wondering on payload and weight, so payload capacity is 1457. Gross vehicle weight rating is 7716. So if you want to know the actual weight of a vehicle, just take the gross vehicle weight rating, subtract the payload, which that's going to give us, what, 73-ish, and then 1,000 more. So it's 6,300 pounds. So it's actually lighter than the station wagon somehow. Interesting. Anyways, here's the front seat. Still over 6,000 pounds though, right? Got the pedals down below. Again, everything's more basic with the Grenadiers. And it's got the cool flip-out key that, yes, you stick in the ignition. So this one has the upgraded steering wheel. What I mean by upgraded is it's got the cool brown leather trim. This is actually what I have on my Grenadier station wagon. So we've got all of our controls for the cruise control. It's a basic system. You still have the toot function, which is a fun little horn, which here I'll just press that. Yeah, so you can see that's kind of fun to do. You've got your regular stocks there in the back too. Warning cluster there in the center, and a lot of people complain about this. They want like an actual gauge cluster. I have about 9,000 miles on my Grenadier now, and I have loved 9,000 miles of this view. It is so nice not having anything blocking the front view, and you can actually use that as a little storage space. I think I used it to store a burrito at one point. Burrito storage. It's great. But yeah, it's so nice to have just a clear view, no digital, nothing in front of you. It's cool. Anywho, we've got the same backup camera system, so just a reverse camera. They don't go hardcore with the tech on this car. Now, as for the rest of the gauge cluster setup, but also infotainment system, right? The gauge cluster is over here on the left side. It shows you your fuel, it shows you what gear you're in, it shows your speed and all that. And then the infotainment system. Now, the coolest thing I think, and this is actually the off-road pages, it does take a second for it to load up, but it'll show you stuff like your current altitude, and it shows you your pitch and your roll, and then tire pressure and temperature. This has a lot of stuff that you'd want to have on an off-roader. No, I'm good on that. Anyways, it shows you where you're going. Sorry, I'm just gonna go back to that. It's fighting me. Work with me, not against me. There we go. It basically has all the information you'd want, like where you're even at, which is cool. And you can set a trail system. So basically you'll go out and then you'll set quote unquote crumbs along the trail, so then you can backtrack on the trail if you get lost or anything. Yeah, this is out of the way, and I love the fact that it's out of the way. It's super easy to use. We've got more nice rugged trim on the dash. You've got the leather, the grab handle there, and this one has the compass set up in the center. Tons of physical buttons down here, and I love the kind of tactile feel with the buttons. And then you get your shifter for the four-wheel drive system. You can go into low with it unlocked. The center locker is off to the side, so you can have it in high with a center locker, you can have it in low with a center locker, or unlocked in both. Physical controls the infotainment system. Again, nice that they double down with physical buttons. BMW shifter. Works out really well. I will say, I was annoyed at it at first, because I was like, man, it kind of runs the whole theme of the interior. But I've gotten used to it, and I don't mind it at all. It's the same color, too, like with the gloss finish in the front. Anyways, got the leather there. Nice little glove box, kind of similar to a Jeep glove box in a lot of ways. And then this one has these Safari windows, which I've absolutely loved. If you can afford them in your build, I think that they're definitely worth it. And then you have all of the auxiliary switches for power to different items. It's all very nicely labeled, and that's one of the cool things about the Grenadiers is that they are preset with power. Well, you have to get the right package. They're preset though with power if you get the right packaging on them. And then we've got our off-road mode and our waiting mode, which something that a lot of people don't know about off-road mode, or at least I haven't heard it mentioned, is it's not just about the seat belts and the parking sensors in terms of making it so that you can like drive without the seatbelt and have no warning. It also changes how the ESC system functions, just so you guys know. And then we've got our diff locks front and rear, so triple lock just like a G-Wagon, and then you can turn off the ESC if you want. You've got your downhill, and then you got the light leveling, so that lets you raise or lower the lights, and then you got the interior lights and all of that. But yeah, it's just cool having the control stack up top. And boom! So I purposely drove my Grenadier here today just so that I had like a, because I think I live like 70 miles from the dealership, so I can have a good amount of seat time in mine driving it back to back. And if you guys want me to do like a more in-depth side-by-side comparison with the truck versus the station wagon, let me know and I'll put that together. What I definitely want to put together is this versus a Gladiator. I'm still debating what package on the Gladiator I'm going to compare, but yeah, I want to definitely put that together in the near future. So, same exact powertrain, and I'll tell you, I love the engine for a number of reasons. It's got great low-end torque, and it's actually pretty darn efficient for such a heavy vehicle. The station wagon, like I said, weighs like 6,500 pounds. This weighs a little bit less, 6,300 roughly it looks like. And I'm able to get, with 33s, I'm able to get like 17 on average. I mean, driving down here, I got 19 miles per gallon. So it's actually really cool how efficient it is for how big of a vehicle it is. And the torque's great. Like, It's not going to be winning any land speed records anytime soon, but it's really good. So what I'm noticing compared to the station wagon is longer wheelbase, it's more comfortable. The ride is definitely more comfortable. So I think that that's a big plus. It seems like in terms of insulation, everything, it's identical, so you're not really going to get a benefit there. It's not like it's more or less luxe from that perspective. But yeah, the ride definitely feels a little bit plusher, and it's not because the suspension's different. It's still a solid axles and everything. It's just whenever you have a longer wheelbase, first off, when you go over bumps, right, you have a break between one set of wheels hitting the bump and the next set of wheels hitting the bump on a truck versus, you know, a station wagon like that. The wheelbase is shorter, so then you hit the bump and then you hit the bump again. Shorter duration. So it definitely just makes for a slightly different ride. But yeah, that's what you're always going to see when you go from station wagon to a truck. But it still has the firm Grenadier ride, which I love because it handles well, and it feels like a real, like, rugged vehicle. So what I'm noticing is this basically gives you the same experience you get in the station wagon. You just happen to have a truck bed. And it does, like, it parks bigger. It doesn't drive too much bigger. For those of you that are worried about that, it doesn't really feel too much. But yeah, when you're parking it, you definitely feel the extra length with this. And then off-road, right, the angles aren't going to be as good. So the approach angle should be about the same because it's got like the same front end. It's just that breakover and departure angle. That's where you're going to lose when you go to a truck. So, in conclusion, this is a really cool vehicle. This is basically a G-Wagon truck, right? I don't think we ever actually got a G-Wagon truck in the US market. And so, like, that's essentially what this is, which is really cool, in my opinion. I think it's really, really cool.